Malaga airport and there is absolutely no one here. It's very empty, which is good. Hello my lovelies, so we just got back from Spain a few days ago. We had a wonderful time, but what a shock. Very unusually, it's normally still really beautiful in October, but this was quite unusual. Some days it got up to 35 degrees, so it was really hot. And we got back to 10 degrees. I'm so freezing. Horrible rainy weather. We had a wonderful time. So my brother was there, Max with his girlfriend. My mum was so happy that she had all of us at the same time. And it was just wonderful. I needed that sun. We've had horrible summer really in the UK. I think we've just had maybe 6 weeks of summer. So it was lovely. We've eaten too much, drank too much. So I have a bit of footage from Spain. I didn't do the usual vlogging every day, but I wanted to show you something before that. So before we went, it's always so sad because, you know, I absolutely hate leaving Louie, and we have just one couple, our friends. They used to be our next door neighbors. They moved now almost 2 hours away. So if we go somewhere abroad, we take him there. So we drive for 2 hours to leave him there, but then we fly from the Bournemouth airport, which is very close to them, so it works out okay. It's very sad to leave him. I hate leaving him. It's a horrible feeling. But what happened, Louis' grooming fell in on a date that we would have been in Spain, and he was looking a bit dirty and smelly. So I thought, I can't take him to my friend like this. So I gave him a bath and I filmed him because he doesn't like having a bath, but he loves being dried with a hairdryer. Louis is having a bath and he hates it. Look at your face. What a pretty boy. So we arrived late evening or early evening. So we didn't do anything obviously that night. But the next night we all went to Malaga Port. We love Malaga Port. It's just, there is always something going on in Malaga, and obviously in the port you've got the beautiful boats to look out, you've got lots of restaurants that you can sit at and have something to eat, bars. So yes, we all went for dinner. Funny thing is, we all wore very similar dresses unintentionally. So yes, we looked like some sort of pop band. You will notice I took a couple of wigs for my mum. So in that first clip, she is wearing the Raquel Welch boudoir something. I can't remember the full name of it. Boudoir, let me have a look. Boudoir Glam. It's this one. Do you remember it? And I knew my mum sort of wears longer wigs, but she said, you know, I feel a bit too old for these long wigs. I still like them, but maybe I should go a bit shorter. But I knew that she wouldn't like this straight hair around her face. So what I did before I went to Spain, I thought, let me curl the front bits a bit. So I did, and she loved it. And I thought she looked so nice and elegant in it. I put it on her, curled it a bit more, and then because these front bits were very long, it's an inverted bob, stacked bob. So I cut the front bits a bit, and I thought she looked amazing. So you will see her in the footage in that wig. And then I think it was our last night. We were the only ones left, Paul and I, because the others already left. We were leaving all at different times. She wore the latest wig. I took it for her. I didn't want to because I like that wig so much. The one that I've just, John Renault, that I've just reviewed. Gosh, because I have so many wigs, I can't remember now the name. The latest one, I will leave you the link to the review here. I knew she will like it because she likes a bit of a fringe, and that wig came with a fringe. Whenever I take a wig for her, I always have to cut a fringe in it, and she loved it. So you will see her on our last night. We went to have dinner, and she is wearing the longer one. I will put it here on the screen what this wig is called because I should remember. Anyway, enjoy a bit of that footage. Then after that, we went, it was already dark, we went to this rooftop bar that is right at the end of the port. Oh my goodness, it was so beautiful. So it was quite quiet because obviously we were there in the middle of the week. It gets very busy at weekends, but we were there in the middle of the week. So it was quiet and probably still early for this sort of bar. But we had so much love there. We were laughing, talking for ages and ages. I think we didn't get home till 1 o'clock in the morning that day. So it was a very, very long day. And then on another day, we hired a car. So we had a car. So we went to Mijas. We love Mijas. And because my mom doesn't drive, she can take a bus and stuff, but she doesn't really go much outside of Malaga. So we had a car so we could take a places. So we went to Mijas. And then we went to Puerto Banús, another lovely place. I mean, It's just full of designer shops. But I love those restaurants and cafes right on the front where you can watch the boats and people walk around, you know, just people watching basically. So we went for a few hours there as well, had lunch there. And the rest, you know, we were just, I don't know, enjoying ourselves. It went so quick. Honestly, I felt like I never sat down. I felt like I needed another holiday after this. We did obviously a lot of walking. So saying all this, how we enjoyed it, we were thinking, shall we retire in Spain? Paul has been thinking about it for a long time. He's fed up with the weather here. It's just miserable, and because of the weather, people are miserable. In Spain, everybody is happy. Everything is at slower pace. No one is frustrated with anything. Well, I'm sure there are people, you know, it's different when you're on holiday than when you actually live there. But I never wanted to leave UK. UK is home to me. So, you know, obviously I'm Polish, but I've lived here now for much longer than I've lived in Poland. So to me, this is my home. Yes, things are not that good here, but I don't think they are good anywhere. But at least in other countries, you have the weather. Here is miserable. The biggest thing, I think, is the language barrier. So my mom speaks now fluent Spanish, and, you know, she can go to the doctor, she can do, if she needs to go to the bank, to any official authorities, she can communicate. We couldn't. I pick up a bit of Spanish every time we're there, but you know what? I've decided I'm going to actually learn Spanish. So I found a tutor in my town that would come to my house, and she's also native Spanish speaker, because that's what I prefer. I don't want someone English. I don't care how well you speak the language, you will always have an English accent. I want someone who is native. Look at me. I've been speaking English for 30 odd years and I still have an accent. So I want someone to teach me that it's actually Spanish. So I think I might do that. I hate that I go there and I cannot communicate with people. I will always try, I'll try to order a drink in Spanish, say thank you, little things like that. And I think English speaking people expect the whole world to speak English. Yes, I understand it's an international language, and it's nice that if you go somewhere abroad and people can speak English, it's very nice. But why shouldn't we, the rest of us, make an effort? Imagine living in another country and not speaking a word of that language. I feel that's quite disrespectful. So I really want to learn Spanish just in case. We love Malaga. I think if we moved, I would move there. It's just a beautiful city with beautiful history, architecture. There is always something going on. This city is never quiet. You can go there at any time of the day, night, and there is something going on. So you are never bored. And obviously the weather. You can walk everywhere. Everything is within walking distance if you live in that vicinity. But I always think, whenever you are on holiday, you're just there a week or 2 weeks and you're having a good time, and you think that if you lived there, that's how your life would look. And of course it wouldn't. My mum loves it there and she doesn't want to come back here. In fact, my mum now has lived longer in Spain than she has lived in England. So to her, I suppose that's her home. She has few friends there. She knows people in shops because my mum, just like me, likes talking. Well, she talks 1,000 times more than me. Imagine that. So that's one thing, the language barrier. Another problem is because UK is not in the EU now, it's not so easy for us to live there. You have to jump through few hoops, to get residency. You have to have certain amount of money and prove that you can obviously look after yourself, health insurance and all that. My mum moved there when the UK was still in the EU, and my mum has got residency, Spanish residency, so she pays her taxes there and everything is there. She doesn't want to come back. One is the weather. I think she would die here from boredom because you can't just pop out because it's always cold or raining. Another thing is the healthcare. If you are from the UK, you know what is happening to NHS. I mean, you cannot see a doctor for love nor money. Yes, in different parts of UK is different, but where I live, to make an appointment, I cannot make an appointment online. I have to call. I wait in a queue sometimes 40 minutes. Then someone will answer and tell me no one can see me till, 3 weeks time. It's a nightmare. My mum in Spain can call today and she gets an appointment tomorrow. In fact, she was worried about something, and I think it was outside doctor's hours. She has, I think, 2 hospitals in Malaga. She just walked into A&E. You have to wait in A&E, but it was 2 hours, not like here you sometimes in A&E for blinking 10 hours. And she was seen straight away. So their healthcare is much better than here, and obviously because she's a resident, it's free at the point of service. Another thing that worries me is moving away from Max. So imagine my mum now, because she lost her husband a couple of years ago, just over 2 years ago. She's on her own. Yes, she has few friends, but if something happened to her, I don't know, she slipped and broke her leg, there is no one there. It's not like I can just get in a car and go and see and be there in even an hour. So this really, really worries me. Thankfully, she's very fit. My mum will turn 73 now any day. She's very fit, healthy. She doesn't have really any underlying health conditions. So that is good. But obviously she will be getting older, like we all do, and she might become frail, less able, and then what? And she doesn't want to come back here, but I will have to drag her here, I suppose. So this is very worrying, and I don't want my son to feel the same way if we left, retired in another country. It doesn't have to be Spain, any country, and worry about us, what would happen. And also, you see, I'm not one of these people that lives for the day. I think like years in advance, and I worry about something that hasn't happened yet or might never happen. But you know that about me. And I was thinking, well, what if Paul doesn't have any interest in learning English? I don't think he's very good at learning languages. For me, it's quite easy. I seem to be able to learn languages quite easy. If I died before Paul and he was left there on his own, not only a man, not trying to be sexist, but not speaking any language, I don't know what would happen to him. And if he went before me, I would be left all on my own. So this is what stops me. One of those things. Obviously, like I said, because we are not in the EU yet, that I could get around, because obviously I can get my Polish passport back and then I'm a EU citizen. So this wouldn't be a problem so much. at least for me, but I suppose him being my husband, I don't know how it works. We never looked into it really. It's just like hypothetical. So yeah, it's something to think about, what we will do. My brother absolutely loves Spain. My brother loves the heat. I hate it. You see, that's another thing. You go there, but like in a summer, look, it was so hot in October. In a summer month, it's like that every single day. I couldn't do it. And then you still sit at home because you can't go out in that heat. People say you get used to it, but it takes a few years to get used to it. So the heat wouldn't agree with me, whereas my brother absolutely loves it. He doesn't care how hot it is. And he wants to live in Spain, and he always talked about it. He actually works for a Spanish company here in the UK, and he spent a year in Spain years ago training. I don't know if he could get relocated with his company, but he is seriously thinking about moving there. And that would be nice because he would be near my mum. I would know that there is someone there. So I don't know. But yeah, let me know if any of you that are already retired, did you move to another country? Are you thinking about retiring somewhere else? It would be interesting to hear, because I know there is a lot of people here from the UK that retire in Spain, and there are even certain places that are quite densely packed with expats. So we never know what the future will bring and what will happen to the world, you know. We're living in such uncertain times that I almost feel like I shouldn't plan anything. My plan is to stay as healthy as I can, because if you have your health, everything else is easier. Trying to save money for the retirement and be healthy. That's my only plan, because you can't plan anything else really. And you know what worries me, if you made that decision, you sell up. It's different if you maybe had a property there and spend the winter in Spain and then summer in the UK. But to sell up everything, cut all your ties and move there, and what if you don't like it after a year? That would be horrific. So yeah, it's something to think about. I mean, Paul has still a few years till he retires. And I can work doing this till I die, really. So, oh, I forgot to tell you something. Whenever we go away, always something happens. I don't know if you remember last year or was it this year, but that happened a few years ago, that the electricity went here, and you know, we've got the Ring doorbell, so we could see people digging the road, fixing something. While they were fixing the electricity, they broke our water pipe. Always something happens. So I think on the third day of us being in Spain, Paul has noticed that our cameras were not working, because we've got the ring light and we've got a couple of security cameras at the back. And he noticed that they were not working. So he thought, wow, I wonder if there was a power cut. And for 3 days, it didn't come back on. So of course you have we found our neighbor, one of our neighbors, asking her if they had a power cut. She said no. So, and we don't leave our house key with anyone, so no one could come in here and check for us. And Max obviously was with us, because Max lives near, so he could always check, but he was with us in Spain. So we thought, well, something tripped in our house, but we didn't know if it was a whole house or just a part of our house, because, you know, there is a few different circuits. And we have two freezers in a garage. We have one huge chest freezer and another tall one, and obviously our small fridge freezer here in the kitchen, and all of them were full to the brim with food. So we thought, great, that means that if the part of the house that went off with the garage, that means our food is all gone. Then I had this awful feeling, because we're thinking, well, what could trip our electrics? No one is there, no one is using anything, we've unplugged most things, but they sometimes can be surge or something. I don't understand anything about electrics. Then I had this thought. I said to Paul, do you remember when you went in a loft to get our suitcases because he tripped or something there? I said, what if you stood on one of the pipes and the push fit loosened and our house now is flooded, and that's what tripped the electrics. So imagine we still had, I don't know, like 8 days left or something. All that time we were thinking that our house is full of water, ceiling is collapsed. It was awful, but Max was coming back to England 2 or 3 days before us. So we said, as soon as you land, you need to go straight to our house and check everything. So that day when he left, we were like, couldn't relax, you know, thinking what happened. So he did, and he called us and he said that only half of the house wasn't working. So the fridge freezer in the kitchen was working, the microwave wasn't, some of the plugs were, I don't know, our electrics are funny, the house is like split in two and there are two different circuits or something. And the garage was off. So all the food was ruined. We had to chuck it all away. We can claim on an insurance on it, but I don't know, we have to add it all up if it's worth it, because you have to pay excess and then they put your insurance up the next year because you've claimed. So I don't know, we will see if it's worth it. But yeah, that's what happens. So every time we are away, something goes wrong with the electrics, or in a road or in our house. I don't know what I was talking about. I had to take a phone call, so I can't remember. It was probably something about my electricity. It doesn't matter. Anyway, my lovelies, so that was our trip to Spain. Loved it. Can't wait to go again. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all your lovely comments. Sorry that I haven't been that good at replying to the last two videos, but obviously I was away and enjoying myself. You know, I used to take my laptop, my camera with me and vlog every day, and I didn't really enjoy my time. So this time I had no laptop, no camera, anything that I filmed was on my phone. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's start this conversation about retiring. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you in my next video. Stay fabulous. Bye.